Hello everybody, CabooseDOTexe here, and I just want to start off by saying that this video might actually be shorter than I was expecting. I won't really know until I finish recording the audio here, but a part of it is just because there's not a lot to say here in this update that we got. Took me a little bit to kind of get this video out because I was desperately trying to find things to say about this update. It's just a very small update. And while I do have something to say, I can't say that there is a lot to say. I mean, we did get one of the most important features finally added. The push-to-talk option, which took almost a year, but better late than never, I guess. On top of that, we now have notifications and a sound that pops up whenever we secure loot, which is really nice, but it's something that Payday 2 had since day one. Other than that, we didn't get much content. We did get a crossover mask with RoboQuest though. That's pretty cool. I actually really like this mask, and it might be one of my main masks that I use. It's nice to finally see crossover content in Payday 3 other than Hotline Miami. Most of the time, the crossovers have been giving stuff to other games and not this one. So I am happy to see that we're finally getting some stuff here. Still holding out hope for that Killing Floor Payday crossover though. I've been looking forward to that for more than a decade now. We have nothing confirmed yet, but I really want it to happen. But what else do we really get? We got some Twitch drops, I guess. Well, how about one of the best maps we've gotten so far? Honestly, I'm loving this new heist. It feels like a spiritual successor to Shadow Raid, one of my favorite heists. But now it also has a loud option, which makes sense for a heist that you have to pay for. And guess what? You can buy the assets for it from the vendor. One at a time! Just like everything else from the vendor. It's really slow, but it's nice that you can, because they will add more loot. Honestly, it doesn't make much sense that we can't do this with other heists, or that we have to buy them at the vendor and not in the lobby like in Payday 2, or that you can only bring one asset per person. Starbreeze, can this be the next major change? Can we get pre-planning back? Because this heist needs pre-planning. There's so many different bits of RNG that can happen that I will discuss, but I think it just proves that pre-planning would be perfect for this heist. Also, can the next legacy heist be Shadow Raid? I'm really confused as to why we got Murky Station back as Torbid Station before we got Shadow Raid. Anyone else think that's weird? Anyone else think that Shadow Raid's better? I mean, I can't believe it took this long for a Shadow Raid-esque map to finally be here, but it's finally here. I can't say it's as good though, mainly because of the loot variety being non-existent. When it comes to loot, you only have money piles, small money piles, and like 3 paintings. Even though this map has a vault, there's nothing inside other than money. No cool samurai armor for the safe house, which is a missed opportunity, but I guess we don't have a safe house, but that's besides the point. However, the assets do add some variety by adding the Wixia processors that I believe were mentioned in No Rest for the Wicked. These processors act like the loot from 99 boxes and need to be refrigerated, which I do think does add some nice variety for the loot. You can also steal a whole ass armored van full of loot like in Road Rage, which makes it a bit easier than checking like 5 or 6 vans. Never fucking do this method. Never do it. This is awful. Holy shit. I am out of bullets. Yeah, maybe stealth it's better. But loud, this is awful. I am completely out of ammo. I have never wanted an ammo bag in my life. But without the assets, it's just the 2 different kinds of loot. Now, there is this weird aspect of the assets where if you use any of them, the vans disappear. I believe the money that was supposed to be in those vans then end up going into the vault, which is nice because otherwise the vault seems very empty for what it is. Not to mention that now there's more loot, you would expect that there would be now more XP for securing all of it, but there isn't. And as you play through the game and level up, you start to realize that XP becomes more important than money. Unless, of course, you're desperately needing C-stacks. But I think Starbreeze is on the right track here. It would be nice to see some weapons or jewelry around as opposed to just piles of money, but the loot is something that can be fixed retroactively or in another heist that's similar. Speaking of which, anyone else think that this heist is similar to Party Powder? Both are warehouses that can be done in stealth or loud, with very little difference between the 2 approaches. Not only that, but they also have 2 different kinds of loot by default. The difference between the 2 is mainly just the layout, which isn't a bad thing. Genuinely, I think having heists with similar similar ideas but different layouts isn't bad if that means we can pump out some content. Kind of like a reverse version of the smash and grabs, which I genuinely thought we were going to get at least one with this update. Seriously, this is like the emptiest update we've had. No new guns, no new character, no new skill lines, nothing. Just a damn good heist, one that utilizes a lot of ideas from previous heists, which isn't a bad thing. I'm glad that they're reusing the die packs from No Rest for the Wicked, or having the refrigerated loot from 99 boxes, or being able to move a van like in Road Rage, which makes me think that they could have easily used the rare minerals from Road Rage as well. This map shows a lot of potential for future maps, especially in the RNG department. This map, more so than any other map in Payday 3, has a lot of RNG. For instance, not just where you spawn, but also where you secure loot can change. For instance, just your secure points alone can drastically change. It can go from anywhere from just throwing it into the back of a van to getting on top of a roof or just making a cage. This is why I think that pre-planning needs to come back specifically for this heist. Being able to choose how you leave would be really nice, but it would make it so that way players don't get to see the other ones as much, I guess. But the exit strategy isn't the only thing that's randomized. The position of vans can change, the ways that you can get on top of different areas can change. There are two possibilities on where you will find the code in order to get into the vault. The only bit of RNG that I've had so far that I don't like is when you're looking for the fingerprints. You need them in order to get the Wixia processors. You'll need a key card to get into the shipping container, but you'll need a fingerprint in order to get into the section that houses the unit. The problem I have with this RNG is that there's a bunch of different places you can find the fingerprint, but there's nothing telling you where you're going to find it. It's just a guessing game. You have to try every single fingerprint until you get the piece of equipment, which means that you'll have to go through every locker or search every one of the cups and all the desks in the second floor until you get it. The lockers don't even have numbers on them, so you just have to guess which one it's going to be. Take this fingerprint. Yeah, that doesn't count. How do you have to test them? This is stupid. Why not have a computer that tells me who I need?
Guard.
Like, I could test it, or I could go use the computer.
Hey, we got a guard. We got a guard over there.
This is dumb.
Check it. Guard.
Yeah, you found a...
Oh, fucking finally. Alright, good. I really hope they add something to fix this. Maybe this map was a bit rushed just to kind of get it out before the end of year 2. Because we are coming close onto when Payday 3 came out 2 years ago. But like I said, this isn't a bad map. It's a very good map. There's a lot of different ways you can approach it. There's a lot of ways that the map can play out, and I really like that. They put a lot of effort into this. You might say they reused a lot of assets, but I don't really see a problem in that. If you already have a bunch of assets, why make more if you don't need to? Sometimes you just need to change the layout of the area that the game takes place in, and then decorate it with all the stuff that you already have. This is something we saw a lot of in Payday 2, and it comes with the added bonus of keeping the game's file sizes small. But at the end of the day, I will say this. While this map is really good, it's not a great way to end off our year 2, which has been a year of high quality but low quantity. But that's a subject for another video, one that will be out in a week or two depending on how long it takes me to edit it. But I will be doing an interview with Elizabeth from Starbreeze, and I'll be asking a lot of questions that I have, and feel free to post your questions that you want me to ask her in that interview in the comments. Obviously, not every question can be answered, whether it be because they want to hold out to show something later on, or they don't want to say something that's going to get them in trouble, but there's no harm in asking, right? But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I want to know what your thoughts are about this new heist. Do you think it's as good as I do, or do you think it could have been better? But until next time, I've been CabooseDOTexe, and I hope to see you folks there. And as always, I love you. Bye-bye.
Vandalizing company property is a fireable offense. Also, Gensec does not suck. They're fine, mediocre, and worse.